Just play it. There we go. Downtown includes what's on the north side of the railroad tracks, the historic downtown where Heritage Square and the little shops are, but it also includes the south side. So south of the railroad tracks, you have a lot of businesses on San Francisco and Beaver and some historic neighborhoods. We're standing here at Heritage Square. Heritage Square is located in the center of downtown. It is our sort of community gathering place.
Terry Medexa is the executive director of the Flagstaff Downtown Business Alliance. It's a nonprofit dedicated to promoting and preserving the historic downtown area.
We have our free family-friendly movies on the square. We have live musicians. We have dancing on the square. So really this is a place where people come and gather and spend their time, right in the center of our downtown. Our climate in Flagstaff is so comfortable. We really are a four seasons destination. And so being outdoors is comfortable here. And so these tables will be up for a good part of the year. And even when it's cold, we'll have some heaters so people can enjoy being in Flagstaff 4 seasons out of the year. What we're doing now is we're taking into consideration that we need to be more physically distant.
All within CDC guidelines. The city also requires you wear a mask while you enjoy the new outdoor seating. If you could use one word to describe the vibe of downtown Flagstaff, Terry says it would be authentic. The city prides itself on its specialty shops, galleries, and restaurants, nearly all of which are locally owned.
And it's walkable, and that's something that I think is unique to Flagstaff compared to other Arizona cities, is you can park once and you can walk anywhere and there's always something to see.
So let's see where our walk takes us.
Such an iconic building, especially with the big tower sign. I think you can see that from any entry point, and that tells you you are here, you are in downtown.
Downtown Flag is filled with eye-catching landmarks, architectural character, and historically significant buildings.
We were the first building in Flagstaff to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
Restored hotels are just a few of the exhibits in this sort of mobile museum. Just pick up a map at the visitor center and hit the road on foot or on wheels for a self-guided tour. Let's start off at that sign that acts as a beacon for downtown. The Monte Vista opened its doors in 1927 as a first-class hotel. It's known for its list of famous guests.
Flagstaff is located off of historic Route 66. We have 14 miles of Route 66 in Flagstaff that we encourage people to experience.
And that's where you'll find the Motel du Beau, Flagstaff's first motor inn. It was built in 1929 to provide luxury roadside lodging for folks traveling by car. Stylistically interesting is the Nativity of Blessed Virgin Mary, located on Cherry Avenue. This Gothic-style church has a 92-foot bell tower and 16 gargoyles standing guard. But one of the oldest and perhaps most historically important buildings is the Weatherford Hotel.
It was built in 1897. John Weatherford came from Weatherford, Texas, and he bought this property, and they called it the Weatherford Block after he'd had it for quite a few years because he put on so many other buildings.
including the Orpheum Theater next door. The hotel was originally built as a mercantile, but with stiff competition from the Babbitt Brothers store down the street, Weatherford reassessed his business model.
Between 1897 and 1900, Weatherford decided that tourism was going to be the next economic boom. Because of the train, they had carriages that went to the Grand Canyon, so it became a tourism hub.
The Weatherford Hotel opened for business New Year's Day 1900. Sam Green and her husband Henry Taylor now own the hotel and have been restoring it piece by piece for the better part of 45 years.
We've tried to keep the most things that we can original, and a lot of the hotel we've had to figure out on our own through disassembling and reassembling.
While modernized, you'll still find Victorian touches in the 17 guest rooms, and the wooden doors, floors, and fireplace are still original.
The Zane Grey Ballroom Bar was built in 1882 and it came from Aurora, Illinois. It has some of those same stylistic of the time.
Keeping the Victorian style authentic was challenging, since intricate work like stone carving is a dying art.
If you look on the outside of the building, look up around the windows, you can see how the stone carving craftsmen carved the relief on the outside of the building.
With the help of a grant from the Arizona State Historic Preservation Office, they were able to reinstall the wraparound balconies. Sam also managed to track down and restore what's called the witch's cap, which had magically disappeared.
That's the hat that kind of sits on the top of the building, and we restored that in 2007. We believe that the cupola, the witch's cap, was taken during the war because it was made out of copper. And so it was donated or put into the war effort during World War II.
John Weatherford brought a lot of prosperity to Flagstaff. Sadly, though, he lost everything during the Depression.
If the building would have been torn down, he would have been lost to history. I think John Weatherford thanks us.
The name Pizzicletta is a play on words, pizza and bicicletta, which is the Italian word for bicycle. A name that pretty much reflects what Flagstaff is all about.
So here we are.
Let's go on in.
Hey, Caleb.
Hey, Caleb.
Caleb graduated from NAU, traveled, came home, then he built a pizza oven in his backyard.
There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears put in that oven. I gotta say the numbers and the feedback from customers has been beyond expectation.
Caleb has gotten an upgrade since the backyard oven. This one right here, actually imported from Naples, where pizza was born.
Make a very traditional Neapolitan style pizza, and I think if you travel anywhere in southern Italy, you get something very similar to what we're doing.
It all starts with the flour, imported from Naples, of course.
So that type 00 refers to how fine it is. If you just go ahead and feel it, it's extremely fine, like a clay almost. Really,
Absolutely, it does.
really simple. Flour, water, salt, and yeast.
That's it.
And that's something that is very Neapolitan as well. Pick it up and get it under your.
Oh, yeah. It really smells good.
Oh yeah.
You almost
right.
want to just eat it before it's baked.
It's got a wet center, so very thin in the center, and then a nice puffy cornicione. Cornicione refers to the crown or the crust.
Okay.
So it's almost like bread. It's really lofty, and there's air pockets, and then ours is kind of finished. Because of the hot oven with this leopard pattern char. A good pizza is just fresh ingredients on good bread.
The building that houses Pizzicletta, Flag Bike Revolution, and Motherwort Brewing Company was built as a textile mill in the 1920s. The building has also done turns as a laundromat and a thrift shop.
We're in actually the office of the mill.
Okay.
The bike shop and the brewery, that was the factory floor.
What do you think about the South Side, this kind of whole resurgence? How'd you decide to open it up here?
Yeah, it's a wonderful thing to be a part of because Southside, I wouldn't say it's been neglected, but it's definitely not seen the attention that the north side has.
So we got a lot of history here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We got the history of the pizza making from way back, and we got the history of the building all combined to make, you know, something really
Yeah.
tasty.
Arizona Highways Television is brought to you by Arizona Public Service and the Arizona Office of Tourism.